back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm doing something very different, so I hope you'll enjoy this what I eat in a day. I woke up and I really felt like filming today, but I also really have to edit today. So I thought, what kind of video can I film in between editing? And to be honest, I think the only breaks I'm gonna take from editing today is to eat. So I thought, why not share what I eat in a day? It's Sunday, so of course in the weekdays this would look very different, but in a weekend this is a very realistic what I eat in a day. I just made my huge tumbler of water and I put in an electrolyte with raspberry taste. I don't do this every morning, but every now and then, especially when I know I'll be working out or I feel a little tired, I'll have an electrolyte in my water in the morning. But I will always fill this up with water and chug this throughout the morning, especially before having any caffeine. It is just so important to hydrate your body in the morning. So that's what we're doing. And I think these huge tumblers are normal in the US, as far as I can tell off of YouTube, but I think in Europe and here in Denmark, people think these are absolutely ridiculous. And I agree, it looks really silly, but don't knock it till you've tried it, because I am a very thirsty person and I like to chug water and I don't want to be refilling a little water glass every day. I have these water glasses in my cupboard and I swear I only use these when I have guests over for a reference. But I am one of those people who just wake up hungry. I love breakfast. I know not everyone feels this way, but I could just eat as soon as I wake up. In fact, I don't really function until I've eaten. I just wake up in this like alarm food, and until I've eaten I just feel like beside myself. So with that said, let's get started on breakfast. So for breakfast, if you've ever watched my channel, you've probably seen me eat this a million times. It's such a staple for me. I will have a little breakfast yogurt bowl using this skyr, which is a kind of Nordic yogurt. It has a lot of protein and it's delicious, like a thicker yogurt. Then on top I put oats. Need to buy more oats. Banana, honey. I also need to buy more honey. And lastly, I top it off with this popped quinoa, which is super delicious. If you've never tried this before, definitely go do that. I add this for extra texture and extra protein and a little bit extra flavor along with the honey. I swear this is like guldkorn. What do you call guldkorn? It's like almost like rice puffs or something. It's really delicious. Then along with my breakfast, I also take my vitamins and I just take these two. I take a multivitamin and a D vitamin, and I sometimes also take some collagen for my hair and nails, but I recently ran out, so I'm gonna stick with these two. Once I've made my breakfast, it's time for the first caffeine of the day. So exciting. And recently I've been getting into making my own iced lattes at home, and it's so delicious. Spring is here and iced drinks come with the spring, of course. And I don't usually drink coffee in the mornings, like before work and stuff, because I do prefer to wait like at least an hour after I've woken up to have caffeine. But it's a weekend and I've had a bit more of a slow morning, and we're definitely having 1 cup of coffee today. When I don't drink coffee, I'll probably have an decaf English tea in the morning instead. I import them from England, where my fiance lives. I love English tea, but an iced latte, just nothing compares to an iced latte. And the way I make mine is actually really simple. I use this instant coffee. I just take 2 teaspoons of this granulated coffee and add a shot of warm water to that, and then in another glass I fill it up with ice. I add my milk of choice, so usually I'd be using this oat milk that I love, but I am running very low on this, so I think today we're doing using regular cow milk, and these are both running low. Maybe we'll have to do a mix. Hopefully not. Can you do that? Then I pour the coffee over into the milk, and then lastly I top it off with a little splash of this Barista's sugar-free coffee syrup with salted caramel. This is definitely a weekend thing. I mean, I know it's sugar-free, but it's probably full of stuff that's really bad for you. So that is my breakfast. Today is just realistic what I actually eat in a day. It's not supposed to be like weight loss, but it's also not super unhealthy. It's just like, I think, pretty balanced, healthy meals for the weekend, you know? So I hope you find this video inspiring, and remember to let me know if you try any of these things down in the comments. Now I'm gonna have my breakfast and get into my first little editing sprint of the day. Editing is going super well. I filmed this video yesterday, a hygge day at home, so I'm gonna link it up here if you haven't seen it yet. I think it's gonna be really good. I put a lot of effort into filming it and editing it, and yeah, I'm really proud of it, so go check it out after this video. I got into such a creative flow, so I completely lost track of time. It's almost 11 a.m. now. It can be really difficult for me to remember to take breaks when I'm editing, but that's why I think that filming this video today is a really good idea for me. So let's take a break and head to the gym. I just got ready for the gym. I put a hair treatment in and slicked my hair back so it's nice and greasy, because we're gonna do a little pamper session later like I always do on Sundays. So it's hair wash day, which means slick back hair oil bun. But before going to the gym, I thought I would just make my little protein shake. So for my protein shake, I have this cute, simple little shaker from Amazon, and this whey chocolate protein powder from Amazon as well, the German one, so it's chocolate flavor. Proteinkoncentrat. Milk aus regionalem Besuch. Anyway, very delicious. It has almost like a caramelly taste. And I just take this cold water that I keep in the fridge and I mix a scoop of this with some cold water, so nothing crazy. Just for a little bit added protein. I think being on a budget in today's age, it can be really difficult to keep up with protein intake. So for me, protein powder helps. If you can get enough protein just through your diet, of course that's preferable, but I find that I need a little bit of extra help, and since I've been using protein powder, I have finally, after years of going to the gym, started to see results. So make of that what you will, but I'm just gonna make my little protein shake. I used to always put the powder in and then the water in and then this little bowl in and try to shake it, but everything would get stuck to the bottom. Stupid. Just keep this one in first, then add your water first, or your liquid. Of course you could do this with milk or oat milk instead, but this is just a budget friendly version. I think it tastes just fine. A scoop of protein powder. Make sure that is nice and secure. And then just pretend you're a bartender in the Bahamas. I don't ever go out anymore. I have not been drinking. Actually, I haven't had any alcohol since last year, so this is the closest clubbing I get. Nice! I love it when it's all frothy. Great, let's go to the gym. It is much later now. I went to the gym, I had a great workout, but it was so full at the gym. There were so many people, so it was quite difficult to film. So I only got a few clips. And then I went back home and did my weekly pamper routine. And if you watch my channel, you know that my weekly pamper routine is a whole production. And it takes a few hours, okay? Let's be real. I took a bath, I washed my hair, I shaved my entire body, exfoliated, I did my laser hair removal treatment and my skincare, I whitened my teeth, I did a face mask. And now I am starving. So finally, the point of this video, let's make some lunch. For lunch today, I am gonna make something super delicious. Usually in the weekdays, I'll have lunch at the office, but since it's the weekend, I'm gonna treat myself to a delicious little lunch. So recently I've been super into bagels. So I'm gonna make a sesame bagel with cream cheese, salmon, avocado, spinach, and cucumber, and some everything bagel seasoning. Oh my god, I am so hungry and I can't wait! So first we're gonna toast the bagel. My toaster lives up here on top of my microwave and we want this nice and toasted. You know how when you go to a bagel place, they always cut it in half? I tried to do it, but I think I toasted it a little bit too much. And I have literally no idea how I'm gonna eat this. It looks absolutely delicious. I know the flavors are gonna be amazing. I don't think I'm gonna insert clips of me eating this. If you do this at home, just don't toast it as much as I did. But I mean, look at this, so stunning. And of course, with my lunch, I'm just gonna drink a beep ton of water. It's a bit of a late lunch, it's almost 2 p.m. So I'm gonna get back to editing. Hours later, it's like 4 p.m. now and I have been editing like crazy. I've been really good today. I've only done like 2 longer editing sprints today, but they've been very productive. But I am feeling a little bit peckish, so let's make a little snack. I'm really craving my afternoon cup of tea, but as you saw this morning, I'm out of milk, so I'm just gonna quickly run to the shop and buy some milk for my tea because I think my editing brain could also use some fresh air. So let's head to the shop. Back home, got the milk. Let's make an afternoon cup of tea. And yesterday, when I was filming my hygge day at home, I'll link that somewhere up here if it's live before this one, I baked banana bread. So now I have a huge tub of delicious banana bread with dark chocolate chips, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have a slice of this with a cup of English decaf tea for a little afternoon pick-me-up. You gotta squeeze that tea back. Every last drop, don't leave it in there, it'll get bitter. Last editing sprint of the day, hopefully. I finished editing. That's not true. I finished the rough cut. So the rough cut is the big part of editing, and I probably spent like 8 hours today, which is very good for me to finish the rough cut in 8 hours. That sounds insane. I still have just as much time left with doing the music and captions and thumbnail and uploading and all that stuff, but we're gonna celebrate finishing the rough cut with getting started on dinner. So it's completely confusing me that it's almost 6 p.m. but it's so bright outside. You could have told me it was 3 p.m. and I think it's messing with my appetite a little bit as well, but we need to get started on dinner so that we don't get to bed too late tonight, because tomorrow is a new week and next week I'm gonna do a whole week in my life. So I'm gonna get up and start filming tomorrow morning. So let's get started on dinner. So here is everything we are gonna need for dinner. Like I said, this is very realistic what I eat in a day, so I'm gonna make something I make all the time, and maybe if you watch my channel a lot you will have seen this before. I am gonna make a chickpea salad. So I have some chickpeas with some red onions, some tomatoes, some cucumber and a bunch of parsley, and I just mix that all up. Then I'm gonna cook some chicken breast with it, and then I have some leftover homemade like fries, roasted potatoes that I made the other day that of course we're gonna eat as well. So we're just gonna heat these up in a pan. I'm thinking will be the best way to get them a little bit crispy again. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just gonna start out by frying the chicken, and I'm gonna cook them whole because I just love a whole chicken breast, but I don't have a lid for this pan, so we'll see if this is gonna work. I'm gonna cook up 2 because then I'll have for leftovers. I like to just have another little bowl as like my little table trash can. So when I peel the onions, I don't have to make a mess. I'll just put everything in here and throw it out by the end. All clean. I'm gonna put these in there. And then it's time for parsley. And I love parsley, so I'm gonna put a ridiculous amount of this in here. And I just kind of rip the tops off here. Cut that up a little bit. Just gonna add some pepper and some salt and a drizzle of olive oil. And give that a good mix. That smells so good. I just love herbs in salads. Forgetting to use your herbs is just such a big mistake. Okay, the chicken is looking gorgeous. It's almost done. I only have one pan, so I'm gonna take these potatoes and roast them on the side here. I'm gonna take these and put them in here. Food's done, let's plate it up. So of course I have my chickpea salad, such a favorite. Then I have a lovely, perfectly cooked chicken breast and some roast potatoes. And I have leftovers. How good does that look? If you're wondering, the potatoes I cooked yesterday are literally just potatoes I cut up, put them in a baking pan in the oven with some thyme and salt and pepper and olive oil. That's all, super easy. But I just reheated them in the pan with the chicken, and now I have this gorgeous, gorgeous plate of food. Impressed with myself. I make this all the time, but it amazes me every time. What a beautiful spring-like meal. I am so excited to dive in. Let's eat. I think while I eat, I'm just gonna call up James and see if he wants to talk. Hi. That was absolutely amazing. You know those meals where you just feel so satiated? Perfect. And now I'm getting all sleepy. Oh, getting up close and personal here. Now I'm getting all sleepy, so I think I'm just gonna get cozy and chill out. I just did my skincare and put on my PJs, and the last thing for this what I eat in a day is of course my evening cup of peppermint tea. I always have a cup of tea while reading my book in the evening, so let's do that. Today's vlog here in bed with my book and my warm cup of peppermint tea. I always have a cup of peppermint tea before bed while reading my book, so of course that's how we're ending today's what I eat in a day. This video has been a bit different from what I usually do, so let me know what you think down in the comments. I know a lot of people really enjoy watching these what I eat in a day videos, so let me know what you thought about mine. It has been a very realistic, very balanced day eating wise, and I have no idea how many calories I've eaten. I have not been restrictive in any way. I do just really try to eat in a way where I feel nourished and satiated, and that feels healthy and that energizes me. So hopefully you found some inspiration today, and let me know if you try any of these recipes. But thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna get to bed early today because tomorrow I'm getting up and I'm filming a whole week in my life for the first time, so look out for that, and thank you so much for watching. I love you. Mwah.